Tony calls Officer Chuck Harris at 4:23 p.m. to do the wellness check on Crystal. And then it's a short time later that her body is discovered in her bedroom. So all of this happened very quickly. When I was reading over the timeline and trying to imagine Tony's thought process and what I might do if my spouse wasn't answering the phone and then didn't show up to her doctor's appointment, the question I kept coming back to is, why did he not just go home and check on his wife? He's less than half an hour away from home. It seems a bit premature to call the police to do a wellness check on your spouse when you can quite literally just go home and see for yourself what's going on. Maybe she had fallen asleep and missed her doctor's appointment. She wasn't feeling well that morning after all. Within just 1 hour and 45 minutes, Crystal's cause of death was ruled a suicide. According to the police report, Crystal had taken her own life. However, Crystal's family was immediately suspicious that this was not the truth and that this ruling had been made hastily without a proper investigation. There was no gunshot residue test done on her hands to confirm that Crystal was the one who had shot the gun herself because it was so quickly labeled a suicide. Now, this is something that, in my opinion, should be absolutely necessary, even in suicides, because we know that there have been numerous cases where a murder has been set up to look like a suicide. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is the case. I'm just saying, because we know that this is something that does happen, this kind of testing should be mandatory to confirm a suicide. I would also want officers to look closer at that pillow that was found over her face with the bullet hole in it. I would want them to look at the trajectory of the bullet, the blood spatter, if any, on the bed or anywhere else in the room. But unfortunately, it just doesn't appear that any of that was done.